Hello students, I am Lavanya HM, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government Postgrad College, Kadur, Chikmagalur District. Today in this session, we are going to discuss what happens in the act second scene third of Macbeth play. So before that, we can glance the things that we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have discussed um, how Lady Macbeth waits outside the uh, bedchamber for her husband, who is already inside the Duncan's chamber. And Lady Macbeth fears that the servants have awakened and the deed has not been done. She knows well that an unsuccessful attempt is more likely to ruin them. She says that if the sleeping Duncan does not resemble her father, she would have killed him. So then the Macbeth enters, distraught and in anguish. He commits murder, and in his hand he took the dagger, which has completely blood on it, and he was so terrified. And he tells Lady Macbeth that he heard a cry, and he wanted to say amen because he is in need of God's blessing, but he could not, and he was so scared. But here Lady Macbeth tries to console him, and she, instead of him, she herself goes to the bedchamber to return those daggers, keep those daggers back. And she comes back, but whereas Macbeth feels that if he wanted to wash his hands, and if he dipped his hands in the ocean with its innumerable and ever moving waves, the hands will not be washed clean. Instead, the sea will itself turn into red. But whereas Lady Macbeth is too calm, and she says, when she comes back from the bedchamber after keeping back the daggers, she says that a little water clears us of this deed. So we can get the comparison between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth here. So he is imaginative, where she is very calm and practical and matter of fact. So uh, even Macbeth actually wished Duncan would come back again to the life. This is what we have discussed in the last session. Okay, so today we shall see what happens in this scene. So this scene is known as Porter's scene, where this scene is both humorous and ironical. It is early in the morning. Okay, a porter has been keeping watch at the gates of Macbeth's castle. He hears a knocking. He is so drunk that he imagines he is in hell as a porter who has to open gates of hell to let in all the sinners of the world. He visualizes himself as admitting various kinds of people into hell. The first person is a farmer, a greedy farmer, who stocked his corn in the hope that prices would rise. But the prices fell and he killed himself. As a punishment for his greed, he has to come to hell. The porter wants the farmer to have enough handkerchiefs with him, since there will be much sweating in hell. The second person is an equivocator. He spoke cleverly on both sides of an issue without committing himself to any view. He evaded the truth. However, he could not deceive God, and he is sent to hell. The third sinner is an English tailor. He is sent to hell because he stole the cloth from a French horse. The porter assures the tailor that there will be enough fire in the hell to heat his smoothing iron. The emotional relief is achieved in this porter scene with the porter's dry humor. The emotional relief is achieved in this scene with the porter's dry humor. His pictures of the pitiful sinners who arrive at the gates of hell are comic, but really the Macbeth's castle has indeed turned into hell. As the porter speaks, he feels cold. He says that it is too cold for hell. He will no longer be a porter of it. He wishes to admit people of all professions that go primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. He means that the way to hell is pleasant and attractive, but no one knows that there is hell at the end, and the devils keep their bonfire and feed it with the souls of sinners. The porter scene is very significant here and it has a dramatic function. In the first act, one tense scene follows another. The spectators watch the play with tension. Another tense scene, the discovery of Duncan's murder, is to follow. So, a lowering of tension is necessary, and this is achieved in the scene with this comic. Thus, the scene serves as comic interval between two emotionally charged scenes, the murder scene and the discovery of that murder. And Porter uh, Porter pictures, uh, Porter pictures pitiful fellows going to hell for their little acts of greed and wicked cleverness. But within the castle, a most shameful and heinous act has been committed. So, the porter actually pictures that sinners who arrive at the gates of hell seems comic, but here the humor is grim, serious. The spectators know that drunken Porter does not know that Macbeth's castle has indeed been turned into hell, and they are the sinners who comes to the gate of hell have come there for their little acts of greed and wicked cleverness. But but in the Macbeth's castle, a shameful and heinous act has been committed by Macbeth. So, if hell is in store for sinners of petty crimes, what is in store for a willful murderer? Ironically, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth suffer the torture of hell on this earth only. They suffer the torture of this hell on this earth only. So, the scene shows how Shakespeare puts humor right in the heart of tragic action and uses it to intensify the tragic effect. So, the porter is finally brought to reality by the repeated knocks, and he opens the gate, and Macduff is at the gate with his followers. Macduff enters the king's chamber and is shocked to see Duncan is dead. Macbeth appears just then and kills the two grooms so that they may not have a chance to present their side of the case. Macduff seems suspicious of these new deaths. Then Macbeth pretends that now he regrets that he killed them. He says that his strong love was swifter than reason and spurred him to the deed. He says that anyone who had a heart and courage in that heart would have acted as he did. Lady Macbeth faints, and her faint may have been intended to divert the attention of all from the doubt awakened by Macbeth's act. Macbeth's act, in the sense, Macbeth's admission of slaying the grooms. At this moment of confusion and uncertainty, the two sons of Duncan, Malcolm and Donalbain, felt that it is safer for them to steal silently away. So Malcolm declares that he will go south to England and Donalbain will hasten to Ireland. So this is what happens in this act second and scene third. So thank you.